Hey, what's going on, guys? Mr. John Lee. So, welcome back to my community if you're a subscriber. If not, you should consider subscribing right now. I evidently can't speak this morning very clearly or legibly, but I just wanted to make this video because this is kind of a daily vlog, but kind of a recap on, what I have to show for my 30s. I'm 41, and, if this message finds its way to the next generation, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I have a few things to say to the next generation because I have a little girl and a son and grandchildren, and I just have a general care for the well-being and the future, obviously, of the planet and our species and mankind. I would like to see, actually, we won't live to see how great or extinct we will become, more than likely. My generation will not. So, but I have so much to show for where I'm at 41, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just trying to spread a message of love and maybe perhaps a little bit of wisdom. Not that, I'm a know-it-all, but I do know what I know just from life experience, and I just think that life experience is the best, teacher in life. So I'm so excited really about life. I'm not really excited. I'm not really the PTA parent, team spirit kind of person, but I am super happy about my life, and, I have a beautiful partner who I have built and grown and developed. We've had our ups and downs, and I feel like, my home life, my personal life, my professional life are all in balance, and it's great. And I bought my first house. I worked on my credit. I played the game and jumped through the hoops, and I'm just doing all my own work in a time when we have all this censorship and corruption in our government, and watching all this shit with Trump and everything is just so crazy. It's really, really scary. In a time when my life is the best, I have to see this type of bullshit going on with our government, and just firing the Speaker of the House, McCarthy, but the it's really politicizing everything: sexuality, human nature, government, which is obviously politics, but weaponizing the government. We're supposed to have 3 branches of government, not 18, so, but what I have to show for my 30s is really waking up and realizing what matters the most in life. And that was as my son was finishing high school, and I had done a little bit of traveling and, soul searching, and really have found the most. God, I cannot get this camera just right, but look at that amazing sunrise behind me. I'm definitely going the wrong way, but I know that I'm not, because it's not where you're from that matters, it's where you're going. And my ass is on my way to work at 7:20 a.m. We busted out some fat shit yesterday. I had a bunch of guys out on this job site, and we were fucking doing some plaster demo, and we got more demo to do today. It'll be day 2 of this demo. It's a fire damage, so everybody's masked up and all this shit by choice, not by mandate, but because we're able to kind of think for ourselves and make that decision. I provide the safety PPE, and the guys can choose to wear it or not. I don't give a fuck. I care about them personally, but I kind of believe, we're all in this together, but we all have to kind of respect each other's space and freedom and liberties to do whatever makes them happy. You know what I'm saying? So, trying not to encroach or infringe on the rights of others is really where I have come to realize is where I want to be, and where I'm most happy is making sure that I stay focused on my responsibilities and my goals and see a straight line. I just see success, and that's what my aim is, you know, success. And every time I get closer, the goalpost does move, but it just makes me, you know, more experienced, higher valued, and more well-rounded to be able to adapt by learning other things and, you know, increasing my skill set and all these things. But throughout all of this, I've discovered, you know, I didn't have much of a family growing up, so to me that's where I'm finding the most meaning in my life personally, is by having the opportunity to have a family and do what is most natural for me, which is lead my family through the land of opportunity and just allow me to be a good provider. And I feel great about it. I'm doing my own work. I was fired and I was terminated in the corporate world for speaking my mind and speaking my truth and holding true to my values. And one of the last couple places that I worked were relatively bigger companies involved with government contracts and shit. And, you know, I really haven't said it forever, I don't think, on camera, but Green Hills Communication is one of the folks that I thought was kind of doing shady shit and treating their guys bad, and had their pay scale and their, you know, their expectations were absolutely not clear at all. There couldn't be any expectations because they weren't clear about what their expectations were. So it's really a setup for failure and resentment and bitterment, and it just causes so many problems. And Comcast Xfinity was another one, and you know, after all this Twitter shit came out and seeing how divisive everybody is, and man, it's just crazy, the politics and how they have kind of infected and spread through our personal lives with politics and beliefs. Like, I just believe in, you know, a man being a gentleman and a woman being a lady, and us doing what we're naturally supposed to do, which is somebody leads, somebody follows, and it be genuine and pure. And, you know, I believe in a romance, but I also believe in being a force for good, but also a force to be reckoned with. Because if you are seen as, you're either weak or you're strong. And so if people find you weak is not good. That's the thing. People think, oh, well, I'm not doing anything, so that's good. I'm weak, I don't make waves, but that's not really, you have that mentality and people will walk all over you. They won't even allow you to think for yourself. And that's the message that is so important. Is, for the longest time, I just felt like I was stuck in this mentality of, I'm poor, I can't see myself working my way out of this rut or this hole or hell hole of a life, and it will never be where I want to be. And for some reason, I have finally woke up and realized, like, I've worked all my life just to survive. And I think that was my problem, was I wasn't making that clear connection with who I really was and what I was really intended to do on, you know, this planet. So I think that it's so great that, you know, I've found such a great purpose and meaning in my life, because, you know, I know intuitively that it's for all the right reasons. Everything feels right. Everything's going right. All the bills are paid. Everybody's happy. And, pardon me. And we never took no fucking vaccine. None of us at my house ever got COVID. Knock on wood, but, you know. But just seeing this whole scam of the government and seeing all this shit go down just reiterates to me that my intuition serves me best. And that's kind of partially a message I'd like to instill out there is follow your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. This corporate agenda and narrative to call fucking white people racist and inherently bad, and this far left extreme bullshit, and then the attacking Trump. Even Judge Joe Brown fucking got on there and said this is all fucking frivolous. It's all baloney. What's funny is the government is investigating itself for its own corruption, but then does nothing about the shit that it complains about. So it amazes me how 535 people actually create all the policies and the problems for 300 million Americans. And none of us do anything about it. And that's why we are in the middle of a revolution. And so I'm kind of happy to be living in that time where it's like, holy shit,